Right, so good morning to my colleagues, my professor Dr. Higgs, and to all the faculty and staff who are watching at TUW University worldwide. My name is Timothy, for those of you who do not know, and welcome to my presentation centered on the mental health epidemic crisis regarding adolescence. So I chose this topic specifically for three particular reasons. Number one, it's becoming more apparent that it is becoming a problem nationwide, especially in the United States. Number two, it is an epidemiological crisis falling under the subcategory of psychiatric epidemiology. And number three, from personal opinion, I feel that this is also an important topic to address because physical diseases or conditions can also be compounded by mental or cognitive or social emotional incapacities. So this is why these are the three reasons why I chose this topic, and I will go over it into more detail. So four particular areas I'm going to focus on is the healthcare topic itself, some background information pertaining to said topic, the social determinants of health that are impacting this mental health crisis in the United States and around the world, and of course, the research design that I will employ and discuss with regards to my signature assignment. Okay, so first off, regarding the healthcare topic, I would just like to reiterate what that is. It is the mental health crisis pertaining to adolescents in the US and internationally. So, for some statistical awareness, 1 in 7 10 to 19-year-olds has experienced a mental disorder globally. And again, these are just cases that have been verified, documented, and diagnosed. We have not even considered, for example, the extent of this crisis for those who have not been diagnosed and are pending official diagnoses. So, with this in mind, in addition, another disconcerting statistic is that suicide is the third leading causes of death for those ages 15 to 29. Now, although this may be towards the latter years of adolescence, it is still an alarming statistic nonetheless because of just the proportion of ages that this is primarily affecting. Again, this is the third leading cause of death. So it is being, with all these compounding factors, it is alarming to discuss. And on top of this, 4 in 10 or 40% of students in the United States have had reported feelings of sadness and hopelessness in a persistent sense. And again, this data was derived from the CDC and the WHO. So acknowledged globally and domestically, mental health crises are becoming commonplace, but they are also becoming compounded by other existing factors, and this needs to be addressed. So once again, it is a crisis in crisis. It is still happening today, even though following the conclusion of COVID-19, it is still remaining and the effects of them are still being felt both in our homes, in society in general, and in every facet of life, just to the sheer dynamism of adolescence. And though I have already provided some statistical analysis already, these are the aspects that I will discuss furthermore in my signature assignment, including in pertinence to adolescent mental illness. What are the prevalence and incidence rates in individuals who are adolescent? Those associations that can be derived from said factors and variables that are identified. What are the sufficient causes? In this case, I'll go over what could be the primary causation of these mental illnesses nationwide and internationally. And of course, any observable trends, other variables to monitor, and the respective cohorts that I intend to develop when I develop my epidemiological research master plan. So these are the aspects and more that of which I will go over in my signature assignment and in regards to this crisis in general. But these are the primary ones that I will examine, and these are the respective informations of which I will also go over as well. In regards to the determinants of health, again, there are multiple with regards to mental health illnesses, and they can be compounded by other particular determinants of health as well. So in this case, how I will approach this is a more holistic analysis in which I will analyze the physical, the cognitive, the social emotional, and the behavioral aspects of adolescence and the positive and negative effects that are being derived from said factors. So once again, when it comes to those who are adolescent, all of these are intertwined, interrelated, and they can impact the student interchangeably, meaning to say that whereas sometimes it could be a physical factor that could be compounding what they're feeling, it could also be cognitive, social, emotional, and behavioral, depending on the situation that they are facing. And of course, the finality of this discussion is the research design which I am proposing to utilize, which is a retrospective, excuse me, cohort study. And so the reason for this is primarily five particular reasons. Is number one, it can be completed expeditiously and in a timely manner. It involves also retrospective data analysis that has already been compiled and all the information is there readily available for further study. It is also inexpensive because of the ill necessity to acquire actual participants or to have all these materials assembled to actually have everything assembled for the study, whereas we are instead analyzing data that has been compiled and collected already from secondary research. And also, we can also assess the validity of other of respective variables, including the exposure status, non-exposure status, and the outcomes deriving from previous studies, meaning to say that much of what the research will be utilized, much of what the research is and has been compiled will be referenced and correlated to ensure that everything is understandable and has been professionally understood and corroborated and evidence. And of course, what will be conducted will also substantiate future epidemiological research, meaning to say that all the information that we derive from this prospective study can be used to support other researchers in the future, just due to the sheer breadth of information that will be compiled for this study. And then, with this in mind, those are the four aspects that I wanted to talk about. And this is because of the fact that once again, this crisis is unfolding. It is unfolding right before our eyes. It is something that we should be aware of and not undermine because of the fact that mental health is a critical factor that can compound even the most dangerous of conditions and diseases and illnesses, which again stem from our stress and anything we feel mentally, emotionally, socially, and all these other aspects. So, with this being said, I hope I enlightened you all on what I will be discussing for my signature assignment pertaining to this course. Of course, thank you all so much for watching. Here are my references if you would like to delve further into what I will be researching for the near future. And with this being said, thank you so much for watching this recording. Thank you all to my colleagues for your support, to my professors, and to the faculty of TUW for all that you have been doing to support this cause and to support my knowledge and development and improving my capabilities in this field. Thank you all so much. You all have a wonderful rest of your day, and that concludes this presentation.